Previously on Rivals, Rupert's personal life came to light thanks to Corinium. He won his seat in Parliament, but had to step down thanks to Thatcher. And Cameron and him, they're working through whatever it is that they have. Meanwhile, Maud is given an opportunity to be the lead in her play, which is seen by Tony and Monica Battingham, who then ask her to lead A Midsummer Night's Dream for Corinium. So things for Venture are looking pretty scary, but things for Maud and the Corinium crew are looking great. Let's see how things play out this week on the Lords of Grantham podcast. Rivals. And we are back with Rivals Season 2, Episode 4. Corey, what is going on?
A little exhausted, Dave.
Uh-huh.
I was staying at my parents' house last night, and their laundry started leaking, and it turned into a 2-hour jaunt of collecting all the water that was filling in the basement, putting in buckets, and me running up the stairs and dumping the buckets in the lawn, putting Jack and Jill to shame with how much I had to carry in buckets. And it only just started hitting me like 10 minutes ago. I'm sleepy. I'm tired.
Hey, I know that feeling.
Oh, yeah, you got a kid. That's right.
Well, I mean, hey, you got like a hit workout in. You were going up the stairs, dump, down the stairs, pick it up the stairs.
Yeah, got my steps, got my weight lifting in. Oh, man.
Basement's okay, though?
I think so. I think so.
Right.
We did enough. At a certain point, I was like, this is as clean as it's going to get. We need a plumber. And then my dad's like, I don't want to call a plumber. He's like, I'm not doing any more work. You're calling a plumber. So, anyways, how are you doing,
Good
Dave?
luck. I'm good.
That's good.
Ready to get rocking on this Rivals.
Yeah, one piece of news to get to, though, Dave. Hulu and Disney have pushed back their plan for when the second half of the season will arrive.
Oh, boy.
So,
is that...
They are now targeting a November return date for the back half of Rivals Season 2.
Is that really?
That's the latest news, yeah.
So how many more weeks do we have?
Yeah, we got a couple more weeks. And then we got to figure out something else to watch over the summer.
Wow, they screwed us. What the heck?
Well, it's a weird thing where I feel they were very non-committal. You know, even when they announced that there would be two halves, one coming early in the summer, the second part coming later in the summer. But I don't know if the show has popped off exactly as they expected. Like, when you log on to Hulu, it's not always the number one spot. It's like hovering in like the 10 to 15 area. And I don't know if that's exactly what they were hoping for, especially for a show. If you go into the extras on Hulu, they have a official podcast that you can find for the show. And you know, when they shell out for an official podcast for a show, they're serious about its success. But guess what? If Rivals ain't a hit, maybe we're shelling out for the wrong podcast. I don't know what to tell you. If you had us on there, Hulu, who's to say?
Call us.
Call us.
We'll take the money.
Yeah, but there could be a juggling going on with Gilded Age and Rivals later this year. I don't know. We'll have to cross that bridge when we get there.
Two of our favorite shows. It's not like, we got the Buccaneers and in Belgravia, the next chapter that we got to talk about. No. This is like elite level Lords of Grantham shows. I don't like that.
It sounds like a true rivalry, Dave.
Yeah, and we're the Declan and Cameron in season 1, episode 1.
Yep. So let's get to this episode.
On that note, we got more rivalries, budding rivalries, different rivalries.
Yeah. I think we could pick up where we left off with the Rupert of it all last week.
Yeah, Rupert's not up to much this week.
No, he's been relieved of his duties from Corinium, and he's just kind of hanging around the house. Oh, Venturer. Apologies, Venturer. And he's just hanging around the house. But he gets a visit from Helen.
Mm-hmm.
What's the news she got from him, Dave?
Helen's news?
Yeah.
Oh, she wants full custody?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Well, I mean,
news.
a lot leads up to that.
Sure.
the man's kind of spiraling. He's riding his horse around. He rides his horse into the woods, and then he finds his daughter in the middle of the woods. She says, "Come, I don't want to be with Mom. I want to hang out with you." So I feel like, of course, I knew that was coming, Corey. I just thought we leapfrogged over the entirety of the rest of his plot.
Maybe it's just I don't want to talk about the kids. I don't care about the kids.
Hey, well, she's not in it much, but I think it goes to show that Rupert is.
He cares about him.
He cares about him, and he's doing what he's stretching his horse's legs. He's getting out there, riding in the wind, thinking about life,
getting away from
considering.
It all. Yeah, but it's funny though because he's there for his daughter and calls Helen to come get her, and that's when she brings the news, that she wants full custody of the kids because she's getting bullied at school. This is why she ran away, the daughter, and that Helen's name is getting run through the mud because people are saying that she was a slut for hanging out with Rupert who wanted foursomes, and so it's not good for her reputation. So she kind of has just to isolate herself from him as much as possible. She does bring up though that as much as he may care about the kids, he only sees them about once a month. Not being the deadbeat dad allegations. Just going to say.
Hey, it is government mandated. It's not like he chooses more. It's this is the agreement they've reached. And clearly, Tabitha is trying to see him more, So that she's getting bullied because of this expose that Corinium aired. And, she does not internalize it the way that Helen does. Helen is saying, that this is ruining my life. It makes me look terrible. Mm-hmm. And Rupert is there's no world where he can atone for this just by simply giving away the kids. She's putting him in a bad situation, but there's really no good situation. As she says, you don't stand a chance in court against me.
Right. There's no sympathies out there for you in this whole situation. And yeah, you do really feel for Rupert in the moment because he does care about the kids at the end of the day. And it hurts. And we didn't mention it last week, but one of our listeners pointed out, it was Rupert Everett, who was his mentor, who's with Helen now. Yeah. Famous actor, my best friend's wedding, he was in a bunch of other stuff. And I guess he seems more stable to have in their life than Rupert right now.
And he also doesn't seem to be playing dad, he seems to be like husband, Mm-hmm. A lot of times you'll see step parents are given boundaries and sometimes it's like I'm going to adopt you, you're going to be my kid. Sometimes it's you're mom's husband, So right. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders in regards to his place in the children's lives. But
exactly, and we don't see him this week, but that definitely seems to be the case now with that context of this week, where it's just like, is it for the best that Rupert's not with him? And really, beyond that, Rupert is seen later this episode working on his tractor that we have never seen before, and of course it's in a field because when there's a field, that's where Taggie will be found.
She always Taggie appears. And Gertrude are going to be.
She just loves to walk out in the field, and she sees him there all sweaty, and he's just like, I don't have the time for this today, Taggie. I'm sorry.
Good for him.
I know. It is, like, exhausting. Like, Taggie, to her credit, it's like, I can't deal with this today either, actually. I've had enough. And I think as the viewers, unless you're going to move the needle, I think we've had enough seeing them two get close and do nothing. So, great. Episode ends with them at a funeral for Charles's mother, which we'll touch on later. But
there's also a brief interaction between Gerald and Rupert where Gerald says, I'm coming for your seat. I hope you're cool with that, man.
And Rupert seems like, whatever.
What can I do,
And Cameron invites Rupert to the Shakespeare play that's going on TV, hosted by Corinium, and he says, no, not at all. I'm riding off of my horse. Bye.
So she's still, even though he never reciprocated the love bomb, mm-hmm. They're still an item. No signs of a rift between the two of them this week.
Yeah, the riff is that he doesn't want to be seen with her, or doesn't want to do anything, doesn't want to go to the thing with her, because she does say, and I'll be there, and he's like, I don't care.
He's like, don't you realize what has happened to me in the past several weeks, days?
Exactly. And so She looks a little miffed at that moment.
But no overt. They're really kind of giving Cameron a lot of like unspoken plot points that have yet to be resolved or discussed. Really,
right? She's kind of floating. Like she's obviously not the long-term solution for Rupert, but where does she go from here? And it hasn't been played out yet. And she's kind of in the background for most of this episode, aside from like buddying up with Declan as they're trying to sell some more of that Yates program. But yeah, Rupert is at that funeral, says, "Hey, Declan, happy to help with Venture if there's any way I can to make it up." And Declan just gives him a pat on the back and says, "Sure." And
I feel like this is a great episode to watch in like in relation to how the show went in season 1, where like Tony was puppeteering Declan against Rupert to sort of squash these childhood beefs between the two of them, and Declan hated Rupert, and now we're at the point where like Rupert is powerless effectively. And
aside from being incredibly rich and well connected,
well, I mean that doesn't none of it, nothing matters in this. Right. It's all like social chess. They all have stuff.
The fact that they're all in that upper echelon and firmly entrenched in there, it doesn't matter so much like Rupert's weight, unless it means like money for Venturer, which they kind of don't need at the moment, as far as we're aware. So yeah,
you can see that Declan's like, there's nothing I can do. Mm-hmm. Which also, is such a stark contrast from last season, where he's like, I'm going to kill him because he touched my daughter.
It's true. Also, has Rupert always had like a pimple on his nose or like a mark on his nose?
I didn't track that.
I don't know. I really clocked it this episode. I was like, man, Rupert's got like something big on his nose. I don't know. Anyway,
we'll tune in next week for a follow up on
to see if there's a pimple there or it's just a beauty mark.
Why don't we talk about the Yates of it all real fast, because it's really not much. Mm-hmm. Declan and Cameron go to meet
Clara.
Channel 4. Mm-hmm. So BBC, even though they got rid of Rupert, BBC is still out on the Yates documentary. And Channel 4 is like, what do we want to do with Yates? And Declan, he describes it as, like the sexiest thing you could put on TV that's allowed on TV.
Yeah, Yates was sex.
Yeah. And he's like, are you going to show it? And he's like, no, but because it's Yates, we can read it word for word. Mm-hmm. And it's going to drive the women crazy.
Yeah.
And Channel 4 is like, we like it. You're in.
Tony walks in, though, to try and interrupt the whole thing, though. What is he? He's like, well, doesn't he bring up sloppy seconds? The Beebs were interested in this. And they pulled out. Not Bieber, he means BBC. Mm-hmm. But Clara doesn't seem to care because she's actually interested in what they're doing there. And in that interaction, Tony asks Declan if he's got tickets yet to the show that Maud's going to be in, and he's like, not yet. And then Tony asks Cameron if she enjoys being with a man who's been effed by everyone, and she says, practice makes perfect, brother. So... You wouldn't know. And he has a small bit of words with Clara there, like they were shut down by the Beebs, and she doesn't care. Clara seems interested, so it seems like they're rolling along finally with the Yates thing. And they remarked that was deliberate sabotage. It just didn't work by Tony.
Yeah, and you can see that Cameron and Declan are excited, like. This is the kind of thing that I said when I brought up the fact that I want to know what the car ride to Ireland was like. These two who started as rivals, he wanted the desk. She said you're going to sit in a chair. They were butting heads, and now they're giggling and laughing like, we did it. We get to do this thing that we want to do. Isn't that cool? And it's like this is what I like about the show is it's very natural and human, like you do get over your drama with people and make good.
We were just missing a bit of the bonding between the two of them.
Yeah, really exactly. And that's the thing. I see the chemistry between these two performers, And you just want to see more fun people getting along.
Yeah,
or not getting along, which makes this show great, too.
Right. Why don't we tie off the Taggie of it all? Because we already said, she sees Rupert, and he's like, I don't want to deal with you today. Bugger off. So she goes to... Well, she's got her sister, who's eager to get it on with Tony's son, because she's keeping that dalliance going. And just a lot of talk about how Caitlin has never had sex, has never done anything, and she's really anxious about it. And Taggie's like, just make sure you're doing it with the right person, okay?
Yeah,
don't make
push.
the same mistake that I did. And so we do briefly see Caitlin run off with go to Tony's house and hang out with, what's his name? The little kid?
Archie, right?
Archie, yeah. And they're sitting on the couch, and she just pretty much says, like, I don't actually want to have sex yet. And he's like, do you want to play a video game, The Ultimate Warrior? And she says, yes. And I feel like that was cute. That was nice. Not everything has to be sex on the show.
Yeah, well, I think it's funny because Caitlin's kind of been the horn dog the whole time we've known her. Like, and now it's like, oh, surprise, you don't know nothing, and you're being vulnerable, and it's paying off.
It's the famous teens who like to talk a big game, but haven't actually had any experience. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, yeah, classic trope. Also, I forget, what is Caitlin's deal with school? Because they sent her away, or she went away, right? And she came back.
Is this the summer?
I guess so, because same thing with Patrick. He's just hanging around the house, even though last season he was gone for most of the season until he came in,
And Freddie's son, who's getting ready to go to Eton, has not left for Eton yet. So
yeah, it must be the summertime. Although, when do they hold these elections for the?
These are
MP
midterms.
roles? Yeah. Oh, midterms. Okay, so it would be summertime. Okay.
Yeah, and so Taggie thinks, I can't. This is too much. I need to get this man out of my head. And we see a few rack focus shots of Taggie and Cameron at the Midsummer Night's Dream.
Right,
taping.
Taggie's eyeing her, how could she?
Yeah, and they're breaking down the plot of the Midsummer Night's Dream, and it's about true love. Apologies if I'm not hitting the nuance of Shakespeare correctly. I'm not a big Shakespeare guy, but they're saying how she thinks it's kind of silly. Clearly, she's got her head elsewhere, and Shelley is next to her, kind of giving her the rundown, no, it's about this, it's about that, it's about this. And she's like, screw it, let's just get drunk.
Yeah, her friend Sarah just pulls her out of there, we don't have to hang around. You don't need to go congratulate your mom. We're going to get drunk. You're going through it right now, it seems like. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they go get wasted at a bar, ripping shots. The Polo boys who with their dicks out are there, but they're wearing pants at least. Sarah repeatedly says she wants to go down on one of them, and she eventually
Shelley,
does.
right? That's her friend?
Oh, is it Shelley? It's Shelley. It's with an
Shelley,
S. Yeah. She eventually does go down, though, on one of the Polo boys.
I gotta say, we're farther from that part of our lives than we like to think sometimes. And
the partying,
seeing people cranking up the music behind the bar, ripping shots at a bar, and just dancing to 99 Red Balloons is that looks fun, man.
Yeah, man.
I could never do it. I could never deal with that hangover at this point in my life. But
yeah, rip a shot or two, I am done.
And pay for a shot. I got bottles of liquor at home that were gifted to me when I moved to my house 3 years ago. I'm not paying $10 for a shot.
No, I'll sip a couple beers and get toasty. That's enough for me to have a good time.
But the idea, this seems like a good time, and you can tell they're all having fun, and they kind of they've telegraphed Baz laying the Mac down on Taggie before.
Yeah,
and he comes in because this is his restaurant, and he's like, "What has happened here?" And the bartenders are like, Taggie and Shelley just took over.
You just crank up the music a little bit, and people just get a little wilder.
And so Baz goes up to Taggie, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And
she's got the eye for him too. You can tell that she is attracted to the man. She likes guys a little bit older.
And Baz isn't even that old necessarily. He's definitely not 17 years older than her.
For sure.
And he's like, let's get you out of here. You've had too much to drink. I'll drive you home. And that's how we leave them.
Yeah, I thought they would pull the trigger on something, but they keep it innocent.
Good.
And
I mean,
yeah,
potentially. We don't know what next week is going to have.
Right, and she leaves Shelley behind going down on that dude. We talk about all these good times at the bar and stuff like that. I don't remember any instance where we had our friend like, hey, where is he at? And then you just turn your head and like, whoa, the dude's in the alley just getting blown. They're just doing it under the street lamp, too.
They got walk like an Egyptian playing. They're having fun.
I like that the guy who's getting it done on is just like, what up?
He's like, thumbs up. He's like, see you, Tag.
All good. But Taggie does get a moment, though, when she's home to be like, where's Mom? And Declan's like, I don't know, because Declan's been drinking, too. And Taggie just says, like, men are just the worst. I can't deal with y'all. Y'all suck.
See ya. Which is good. Hey, you know what? Let Taggie have. They're all drunk. This is a big like bender of an episode by the end of it.
Yeah, she needs to release her inhibitions.
Yeah. Feel that rain on her skin.
Exactly. It's good for her. It's not rain on the skin, but there is a lot of chlorine on the skin in this episode, Dave.
Oh, yeah. This one was a long time coming.
Long time coming. Maybe like 15 seconds. I don't know. We got Freddie by the pool reading some of Lizzie Veriker's novels. And as we know, she's a bit of a romance author, and we get some of the reading from the book. And apparently she, just leans heavy into sex and stuff like that. So Freddie is just enjoying himself reading these books.
Yep. And then Valerie comes down. That's her name, right?
Yeah, his wife. Yep.
And she's like, we're going to the play. You coming? And he's like, why? I do like the idea that all these people that are like plus ones of Venturer brass are like, what do you mean you're not coming to this play put on by your only rival?
Right. It makes no sense for you to attend it, but why don't you?
And she's like, don't go like, naked in the pool.
Right. Well, he reminds her, I can't go to that because, he's my rival. And then she says, don't go naked in the pool because stuff starts floating up in it, and I don't want to get pregnant. Which I don't understand. So she was, I do understand. But she's saying to her husband, don't go in the pool and jerk off in the pool?
Yeah.
What is Freddie's deal here? He's just like, and she says
maybe
that
he has once. I don't know.
And she's saying this in front of the kids too. These kids who are old enough to comprehend what is going on.
That's a
Daddy
boy right
is
there.
Having some solo time in the pool.
Hey, to each his own. Freddie's got the money. Freddie should say it's my pool.
Right. Who's cleaning out the pool is my question then, because then I'd be like, Dad, come on, man. I'm trying. Like this is
Filter's cleaning out the pool.
I hope so.
Well, either way, so they, we're this whole episode cross cuts between this Midsummer Night's Dream performance. Mm-hmm. Halfway through, we got James Veriker is who's he playing? Bottom?
Yeah, he's like the main guy who gets turned into a donkey.
Man.
Yeah.
And at the intermission, we see Lizzie's like, this stinks. I can't watch my man do this like love story in front of me.
Right,
because I feel totally betrayed.
Just touching on the James of it all, he's really horned up for this play. Like he's trying to practice with Maud, where he's climbing on top of her, mounting her and stuff. They keep getting interrupted when they're doing that practicing. But yeah, very much so in the play itself, he is climbing on top of Maud, and they're in bed together.
And earlier in the episode, Lizzie brought him his notes, and she's like, hey, just so you know, I got a meeting with my agent. This could be the biggest day of my life. And he's like, where's my pen? You're not going to bring me my pen to write on my notes? So she's, this guy has he's an idiot in the most simple sense of the word.
He literally says it's all about my career. And the people around watching this happen in the hallway are all muttering to themselves, he's so awful to her. He's terrible. Mm-hmm. Deirdre, meanwhile, is so horned up. She's like, give me some of that. I want to be like
she'll take what she fell out of a helicopter.
She's just a pushover, totally. I don't recall her being this down bad for James last year, but she is so in it to win it with this guy.
I think she just sees him swinging, and she wants that validation. This is a big episode, I think, that hits on themes of validating your wants and just like checking boxes, even though you don't want the box you're checking.
You just want to see if you can kind of get it.
Yeah,
if given
exactly.
the opportunity.
It's like an achievement unlocked, but at what cost? So
Sure.
we're in intermission. Lizzie says, "I'm getting out of here," because she asks the Jones family where Freddie is, and they're like, "Oh, he's reading by the pool, doing whatever." So she's like, "I'm getting out of here." And apparently, every house in this neighborhood is walking distance from Corinium Studios. Everybody's gone and back within like 10 minutes.
Open door policy too at all these homes. You can just walk into them.
And in Corinium, a television studio.
Yep. And so, she shows up to visit Freddie there, and she's like, "Oh, you're reading my book?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're just kind of like feeling each other out, and before you know it, they're just like, "You want to take a dip in the pool?" Oh, yeah. They were having sex in the pool.
Yeah, for an extended bit.
Oh, yeah. We see Freddie's butt again. They love to feature on the show. They love the butt. And then, we see a lot of Lizzie there swimming in the water. And it all comes to a head when Freddie is snorkeling underwater on her, potentially risking his own life to make her happy.
And as you said, what a better place to die.
This guy. But the thing is, his daughter is coming knocking. Mm-hmm. And so they're just finishing. They're in their post-coital bliss there for a second, and then she comes, and he's like, and so he gets the towel on, and his daughter catches him like, "Oh, Daddy's been skinny dipping again in the pool. I'm going to have to clean that pool a little bit extra."
You got to clean it, and we're good.
But she's telling her dad how Mom's been talking negative stuff about her, how she looks, and it's hurting her feelings. And he's like, "You could have called, or you could have let me know, and I would have grabbed you." And she says, "I called multiple times." And then he said, "Then how'd you get here?" And she said, "I walked." And he's like, "That's a long walk."
Well, is it? I don't know. It could be a football field away.
For her, it's a long walk, maybe.
And she said that there's a guy like asked her on a date, and it was just a prank.
Yeah, the poor girl.
And Freddie, this is like, and we keep cross-cutting to
Lizzie hearing all this.
Lizzie in the water, and Freddie's like, if someone's treating you like that, they don't deserve you. And like Freddie's being a good dad, a good guy, present.
Yeah.
And you just feel for everything going on with these three. And we get a little follow-up where they're in a field, as you know. You're waiting for Taggie to walk by because we're in the field.
She's just wandering at all times in a field somewhere.
And but no, doesn't wander into this one. But Lizzie tells Freddie, like, this can't happen anymore. Like,
you're skipping over one key thing here, which is that James is like hitting on a blonde lady back at the studio, who's in the play also, because he's realizing he's getting nowhere with Maud or whatever, and this woman seems to be perking up at every joke he makes. So he, in the intermission, he writes down on the napkin for Deirdre to hand to the blonde lady, "Meet me in Studio 2." And so while he's in that side room getting prepped for her, Deirdre immediately eats the napkin, does not hand it to the blonde lady, because she doesn't want anyone else to bone up with James, I guess, other than her. And James gets frustrated waiting and gets up to leave, and then falls and trips and then knocks himself out.
Yeah.
And so Lizzie eventually returns to the end of the play. Also, gotta note too, there's a thing, post nut clarity. The ultimate post nut clarity is what Lizzie went through, where she knows she shouldn't be doing this for Freddie, but then to immediately after getting off, hearing the daughter talk to him, like, I don't know how much clearer things can get for you in your head. Like, oh, this is wrong. What we're doing is very wrong. But she's there at the end, after the play has ended. She doesn't know that James has been knocked out, and so we see Valerie
Monica.
We see Valerie talking to Monica and Tony about the pool that they got, and it's laced with all kinds of chlorine, and Freddie's enjoying it. Tony doesn't want to hear that conversation. It's whatever. But then Monica is talking to Lizzie when she shows up, and she's like, "Do you know where James is?" And Lizzie doesn't know. And Monica says,
she makes it clear that she missed the second half of the play. She's like, "Yeah, I don't know what he was great, wasn't he?" And she's like, "He wasn't even there. We lost him."
And
by the way, you smell like a pool.
Yeah, you smell like a pool and some other stuff, some spunk. And then Lizzie's like, what? She doesn't realize she's been caught out by Monica. But she eventually finds James in a side room. And he's like, oh, thank God you're here to get me. You're always there to catch me when I'm falling. Like, really appreciate you. And that really even drives up home even more for Lizzie. Can't do this, you know? And that's when she later is talking to Freddie and is like, we really have to break this off for good this time. Like, we can't keep running around. And we should just be happy that we even had the moment that we did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing with James, with her finding him, I think I don't take any of what he says with any level of seriousness. No. This guy's an idiot. And he treats her like trash all the time. Mm-hmm.
It's more so that Lizzie is a softie and can't say no to her, husband, who we've never seen really have that much of chemistry with at all. Whereas this year they've been doing a better job with Valerie and Freddie getting.
Well, in slowly working through season 1, there's a lot of Valerie and Freddie going on there. I don't think we care as much about it because you're not paying attention to what's going on in both ways, you know.
Sure. But is there as much James and Lizzie, or is that still kind of like?
Oh yeah, there's plenty of James and Lizzie because they co-host that show. Though. Yeah, well, they don't get along, and Valerie and Freddie don't get along either.
Yeah, that's my point. It's hard for me to understand how this ever worked as a marriage. I can see glimpses of that this year with Valerie and Freddie. They're just kind of like the older married couple, and they once got along. You know, especially last week when he said he loved her. You know, the Valerie and the Lizzie and the James, I just never. It just,
I mean, Lizzie made it clear that they never loved each other.
Yeah, it's a plot contrivance just to make it all difficult.
But I think that leaves us the play, right?
Yeah, the Titania is arriving at Corinium to start the episode. The Lion Sleeps Tonight is playing.
Yeah.
Big fan of that song, Dave?
My life connection to it is from The Lion King when Nathan Lane sings it.
Yeah.
But not really.
It's fine. It's not that great.
I mean, they love spending money on music on the show. Maybe that's one of the reasons they're pushing the thing. Is like, guys, stop dropping the needle. We're not getting the viewers to pay for the Walk Like an Egyptian.
And we got Haley Atwell. We got Rupert Everett, who's barely recognizable if you remember him from 30 years ago. But we're spending the money on these actors. Show up, people. Watch the show. But yeah, it's Maud arriving at Corinium, and the photographers are there. She mimes like dropping her glasses just for them to get a picture of her bent over picking up her glasses, because as we know, she was once a famous actress who kind of gave it up to be with Declan, and it's in this moment that with all these photos that Declan gets the news that the mother has changed sides. And
we get a phone call from Charles.
Right, just letting him know this news. And Tony and Monica are in bliss, you know, that Maud is exceptional. Tony's so excited about the idea that Maud had of bringing her into this play.
But then Tony says, I think we got to celebrate this. And Maud goes, yeah, we do. Good night.
Yeah, there's a scene in the middle of this episode where he's like so excited and he wants to have sex. And this is where I actually I didn't feel bad for Tony, but I was like, Monica, come on. You're the one who's felt like you've been put out by Tony for so long. You're the one who wants the affection from him. And the one time this guy is up for sex,
you think she feels like she's been put out? I think she feels like she's been betrayed.
Sure, but in the process, she's put out. She's not getting in.
I don't think he deserves that from her.
No, I'm not saying he deserves that, but for her to be so wanting of that from him, to not be like.
But I don't think she wants that from. I think the man's a serial cheater who almost blows up their marriage in public. She wants him to.
She wants the
kiss the ring and behave yourself.
Yeah, she wants the emotions of the marriage.
And I think that historically he said in the first season, he's like, wonderful day, Monica. This is awesome. And then he goes and sleeps with Cameron Cook. So this is not different for her. He's just trying to behave in the beginning of the episode. And we get this massive blow up between Declan and Maud where I think this is a lot of this is a hold your tongue moment from Declan, but also at the same time, Maud is definitely going into business for herself.
And they boil up to it, too, because there's the first scene where she's back at the house, about to go to bed, and she's like, don't get it confused. I'm only here because I'm going back to work, and this is my house, and I want you to sleep in a different bed. And then Declan says, okay, so I'm not welcome in my own bed. And she's like, nah, go in the other room. And then he slams the door behind him.
And she goes, "Oh, I decorated the house." He says, "My wages keep I keep this house hot."
Mm-hmm. And Declan shows up to where she's practicing for the play. We get scenes of Maud trying to get ready for the play, not feeling too comfortable with James, but she's very much committed to this being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? She has concerns too that she voices to James about her not appearing as young as she once did. She has her own reservations already, which made me think that are they going to do something where there's a double screw over where Tony tries to embarrass Maud also in terms.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I thought the end of the episode was going to be, but instead it was something very different.
Sure. But yeah, Declan shows up to where she's getting ready, and that's where they have a huge blowout. He shames Maud for taking the role, and that Tony doesn't care about you. He just wants to get at me. And that just sends her into a tailspin. She was like, how would he know that I was going to be acting in that play that night, and he just happened to be there? That was all spur of the moment and stuff. And he doesn't have a moral code, or no, that's something else. But he says
that she says he's being petty, and he says you're being naive. Mm-hmm. And yeah, this is. I mean, they're both right.
Yeah, I think Monica did see a talent in her and suggested to Tony, and he thought that's not a bad idea. But Declan's also right that they are using her. Mm-hmm. But when they're putting makeup on Maud, they say she looks deranged. She's crying. Maybe she's nervous. And she suddenly is like, I can't go through with this. I can't do this. And James says, just get some whiskey for O'Hara.
But Charles, they bring Charles in, you got to help.
Yeah, sorry, Charles.
Something.
Yeah, Charles.
And Charles is like, what is going on? And clearly she's just reeling from this fight. Yeah. And she's feeling used. And he goes, get some whiskey and get Tony in here. Stat.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, she can't remember her lines. And Tony does say, watching your husband squirm is a cherry on top of everything. I will be honest about that. But I'm interested in creating something that people want to see, Uh-huh. And to that point, based on how this goes tonight, I want you to be starring in our next TV series where you're a housewife that gets the hearts and the cocks of all.
He wants them to star in the next season of Four Farmers Went to Mow.
Yeah,
their hit show that we established that Cameron created, of all people, last season. And she wants to be the matron figure that all four of the men who went to Mow, who are in this play, by the way, are trying to get simultaneously.
Right, as he said, this is the exact quote: "Have men's hearts and cocks in the palm of her hands." Okay,
yes,
they love the way with words on the show.
Yeah, Tony's. We can see Tony's kind of letting his. He's venting his frustrations from home at work.
Yes. And it seems to work because the play is going on and Maud is doing great. Declan we see is leaning into the performance. Monica even says out loud, this is utterly authentic. Isn't she just, incredible? Tony's locked in. We get the donkey going down on Maud there on the stage, and Declan starts crying a little bit.
Yeah, Declan is truly moved by this, and you can tell he kind of regrets his blow up.
Yeah, I mean, that's the effect of Shakespeare also, and Declan as a writer loves Yeats. He understands the words and the verbiage of Shakespeare here too. He's feeling it all. Mm-hmm. But
meanwhile, we know James has collapsed. We know that Charles is backstage directing this whole thing. And as he's making the calls to his camera people and the people on the boards, he's mouthing the words to the script. Yeah. So we're coming back from intermission. There's no Donkey Man.
No,
And again, I apologize for not knowing Midsummer Night's Dream.
it's okay.
My brother was in it at Wilcoxon Elementary School 30 years ago.
I read it once. It's all about mischief and fairies and crazy stuff going on. It's fun.
But they look and they say, Charles, you're a man. Go put that donkey head on and get out there.
Mm-hmm. And they finish the play with him.
And people are going nuts. People are loving it.
Yeah.
And you can see that Gerald is in the crowd, and he's like, that's Charles.
He knows it. And Tony even has a moment where he's like, what the F is going on? And Monica's like, this is good, though. He's really good.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't blow back at all. And so they're all celebrating afterwards. And this is where we get the blowout.
Yeah, Gerald. Well, yeah. So, yeah, let's handle the O'Haras of it all before we go to the other characters roaming in the sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Declan is like, that was incredible. Like, I am so sorry about our fight before.
Right.
And,
let's celebrate by going to Ireland and to be by his side. And she's like, I don't think you got it. We're done supporting each other. You haven't been supportive of any of the things I'm doing. I'm not going to just go with you to Ireland to do nothing after I just had one of the biggest highlights of my career here. Like, this is like the equivalent of like an actress. I'm trying to think of like a modern actress who's kind of went away, having a moment again. Like, I don't know.
Demi Moore in The Substance.
Sure, or Angelina Jolie's kind of faded away, but if she were to come back after, raising her kids. Something along those lines. Like, Maud was a huge deal, and she could be a huge deal again with this. And she says, you just don't want to watch him work with Tony. And he's like, I'm done with this. Come with me. And she bellows at him, no. Like Caesar in Rise of the Planet of the Apes. No.
And everyone is witnessing this, too.
Yeah. Maud has found her voice. And she's like, Tony believes in my career, and he's going to put me on TV. And Tony's just smoking the entire time, just lapping it in. Like, this is perfect for him. He hates Declan. To see him get embarrassed in front of everyone is just perfect. And Tony gives a toast to Declan as he looks at him. It's a great moment.
Yeah. And I guess let's just keep talking about these two while we're talking about these two. It's the next day, and Maud goes into Tony's office, at which point I thought Tony's going to say, oh, remember how I told you were going to be 4 farmers went to mow?
Yep.
Now, you're too old, you're ugly, I don't like you. But instead, he's like, audition for me. And Maud says, I like to improvise to get into the character.
Mm-hmm. So that means she can't say no to anything.
Uh-huh. And the blinds are open in Tony's office, by the way. And his man, I did a little research because we began looking at Tony's man. His name is Ginger, of all names, the red-haired man.
So close to him throughout this episode.
And he's like, all right, see ya.
Yep.
Let me draw these blinds and let you have an audition.
And she starts groping her breast and throws her undergarments at him, and he sniffs it. They smell clean. They've been through the laundry. And I thought this was like a dream for a second. The way they were like playing it in slow-mo and stuff like that, I was like, maybe this is like in Tony's head, and it's part of his sexual frustration with Monica or something like that.
Uh-huh.
No, this is happening. This is going down. This is a crazy triangle, a bizarre one.
Well, this is really, and the thing is, they don't show anything.
No.
We're going to need to follow up next week to know exactly what went down.
It's all in our imagination.
But Maud is throwing her undergarments at Tony, which is very, this is a big moment because Tony says he's going to behave. He tells Monica, no more fooling around.
Hard to believe him.
And we know for a fact that one of the many reasons that Declan took this job at Corinium last season was because Maud had cheated on him with somebody else, and that their sort of exile, self-imposed exile into the middle of nowhere to be on the Corinium team was sort of a way to help Maud right her course.
Yeah. But, as my mom said, once a cheater, always a cheater. So, sorry, Maud. I don't know if that bodes well for you here. If you're going to stay true to it and straight and narrow.
And I could also, I don't know. People who are listening may have already watched this. We haven't. I could easily see this being like, it is just like a striptease in the office that does not go further.
Could be.
It could be. I don't know, but we'll see. Either way, not something that Declan would not approve of.
Absolutely. I don't think any husband would approve of that with their own wife. But yeah, let's finish up Charles.
So yeah, we got a few other little low-hanging fruit. Charles is the biggest of them. Gerald busts into his office or his dressing room and says, like, that was incredible. I didn't know you had that in you. And he's like, I got to tell you something. My mom passed away this morning. Mm-hmm. And Gerald is like, so clearly, like these two, you feel so much for them because of the time and their desire for success in their respective fields. Where, even last episode where Charles had to bring his mother to this dinner party because she can't be left alone. Like, her health decline has been one of the steadiest plots of this whole show. And to see that the day that she passes, he still feels that if he doesn't go to work, he will be punished by Tony. Speaks volumes, and then he lets it all out through this performance, and people love it. Right. And it's very bittersweet because it is a huge professional success and achievement for him. And as sad as it is to say, when you have a elderly relative who is suffering so much, the end is not necessarily this horrible thing. It's sort of a sad moment that marks the end of a sad era, Yeah. So I feel for Charles. He puts on a happy face and he goes back into the party to celebrate. And
he's really
the funeral. I mean, and Muffy comes in too.
Yeah, and in that moment, that's when they announce that we're getting married. Gerald.
They picked a date. We knew they were engaged.
March 5th, which is one of the.
I guess this is not the summer.
No, this is a bizarre wedding date. There's no holiday around it. It's the heart of winter, so there's a good chance that you can have a snow day there.
Or
it's strange. It's a strange day. I don't know. If you're getting married in the wintertime, it's got to be like either like a Valentine's Day.
Well, March is early spring.
Dude, in England? I don't know, brother. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. In the 80s, tell me. March 5th, good day for a wedding.
What was the weather patterns like?
Yeah, not sure about that. Actually, we have the luxury of time, too. We can literally look up what was the weather in England on March 5th, 1988.
48 to 54 degrees, average. So mild. Too warm for snow.
Okay.
Yeah, so, London, 50 to 54. So probably a nice day.
Okay, all right. I'm wrong. So anyways, but that makes Gerald cry. Or not Gerald, Charles cry even more, though.
Yeah, this guy, I mean... And the one... And so we go to the funeral is one of the last scenes of this episode. And I mean, considering what we know about this show and the way Tony Battingham exists, this is a weird crowd at this funeral. Yeah. There's like 8 people.
Right. It's all Venturer too. It's not any like people.
Yes, exactly.
From Corinium.
And we know for a fact that Tony is watching all of these people. And I know that Charles can't turn people away from the funeral, but I feel like these people shouldn't be there.
Right.
But that's that.
I mean, it kind of goes back to he's playing both sides and is kind of getting used a little bit for his information and stuff like that. So like, as much as he says they're his friends, are they really his friends? I don't know.
I think they're his friends. I mean, I think Tony's using him. Tony's gonna. Declan thinks that too.
Right. It is a sweet message though that he has there about like, who am I going to like put up the Christmas cards around the house? Who am I going to call to share my good news? And it's like, man, it was really affecting to hear that.
Must stink to be closeted in a time where that's not allowed.
Yeah, tough.
Or frowned upon, not allowed.
I feel for him.
And also at this after party, we see Daisy and the Reverend have an interaction. Mm-hmm. And she is reeling again. She's shivering. She doesn't want to be around. We're queuing up something big for Daisy.
Yeah.
Declan punched this guy in the face. Daisy, he assaulted Daisy in a ditch last season. Horrible stuff.
It's going to come back around.
This kind of reminds me of like the Anna and Bates and Mr. Green and Downton Abbey, where it just like won't go away.
Yeah.
Like, we want this old man to die. Like, can he just die?
He's not a good person. And so, yeah, they keep teasing it. It's one of those things you have to really remember that episode because they're not doing much else with it. But yeah, they're definitely building something.
That's an unforgettable moment of the show.
Right, Declan punching the guy on TV.
And similarly, Monica is basking in the glory of her call for Maude. And I forget the woman's name, but the former Venture board member says, like, well, you got an eye for talent. You used to be an actress, too. And she's like, oh, yeah, in my old life. So Monica, we see that she's kind of sacrificed some stuff to be the wife of a guy like Tony,
Yeah, and I was trying to understand, too, because that lady gives, like, a longing, or not a longing, but, like, a lingering look on her. And it's like, what does that mean, exactly? What are we trying to get out here?
Are we gonna maybe Monica feels underutilized as the wife of a television executive? She wants to act too.
I also got a hint. Did you have a relationship with this woman way back then?
Hey, maybe.
But yeah, a lot stuffed in there. Exciting episode though. A lot going on.
Yeah, I'm thinking. And I don't think there's anything else. I think we hit all the beats of our characters. Yeah, really. Fun, moving episode. Move the rivalries. Got a lot of beloved characters that have good beats. So hated characters having good beats. So yeah, here for it.
Well, we got our power rankings, and at number 3 going down, I got Freddie and Lizzie.
Okay,
they're just quitting on something that they have that's really good because they know better. This is not something they should be doing, and I feel bad for both of them. They do genuinely seem to have a good thing, but it's not the time. Not the place.
Yeah. Well, number 3, I got...
Freddie's got to wear his drawers in the pool, too. He's got to start wearing those drawers.
Sometimes. He's got to find other places to relieve himself than the pool.
Exactly.
I got Rupert at number 3 just because he's dealing with the fallout of his awful week last week. There's no motion in any direction at this exact moment. Yeah.
He's number 2 going down for me because... getting denied getting denied parental rights is just, that's a low. That's that's your blood, and you to not be able to see them or engage with them at all anymore. Just a kick in the gonads. And he's working on a tractor in the field. We've never seen this man work on a tractor. This is just a low for the guy.
Yeah, he's got to make his money somehow.
Yeah.
Well, number 2, I got Declan. This guy makes a fool of himself around his wife. And it's not, like I said, they're both wrong. They're both wrong and they're both right in their own individual ways. That's the problem with these two in general. Mm-hmm. And
he's my number 1 too, Declan, though. Declan, I think, easily has the worst week because he has the opportunity to be with Maude again, but he can't. He hasn't learned his lesson. She's told him so many times, I want to have my own career, my own life. We've raised a kid. I've been waiting for this moment my entire, for 20 years, Mm-hmm. And for him to still ask her to be by his side in Ireland is completely to show that he has not learned anything about this. And then he's made a fool in front of everyone because Tony literally owns him by Maude announcing she's going to go work for him. And then he just goes home and gets drunk because he doesn't know what else to do with himself. He's a loser in this episode, Declan.
I would say if he did, the Yates pickup is a big thing for him and Cameron.
Yeah.
And I think up until that moment, I don't think there's ever a chance. This episode, there's no narrative where he ends the week arm in arm with Maude at the after party. Maude wants nothing to do with him, period.
Yeah.
He can get down on one knee in front of Tony and say, "You are a god for casting my wife." She wouldn't care. She can't stand him right now.
Yeah.
So that's why I have because I think that the L he takes is inevitable, and the Yates of it all is an uptick that he needs.
Okay.
I have Lizzie and Freddie at number 1 because these two are like unabashedly beloved as a viewer. With Declan, you're like, dude, stop screwing up. With Lizzie and Freddie, you're like, thank God. This is what we want to see. We want to see these two. These are like, nobody is an innocent here, but the most justified cheaters, I think, are these two. And it's really sad to see them face the reality maturely because they know that they have to move beyond it, and it's like they just don't want to,
and that's
because
the thing.
They love each other.
That's the reason why I only have it at number 3 is because I feel like we've had this conversation with them already, and they're just kind of repeating it again. But at least they got it done in the pool. If there was a UV light overhead in that pool and they were to turn it on, that whole pool would be glowing after they were done in there, from what it seems like they're doing. So it can't be that bad for them.
Yeah. Well,
but sure, it's bad.
It's shameful, is what it is, and that's no good.
Yeah.
You know, it's shameful for Lizzie and Freddie eating his words. Like he did. Yes, it just. I feel for those people. But on the positive side, going up, it's not all roses. But I think Charles really proves his value at number 3 for me. He, like I said, you know, like the loss of his mother is serious, but it's not unexpected. So I can't say this is some horrible tragedy. In the face of that tragedy, he was directing an incredible performance, and then halfway through it, takes over as the male lead. Like, this is a huge W for him as far as his value to Corinium. So even if Tony is playing both sides, or taking advantage of the fact that he knows that Charles is a mole, which is a potential plot point going forward. Big W for Charles at work.
I'd agree with that. But a bigger W for me this week, number 3, was Taggie. I just needed to see her cut loose for once. She's always just a sad sack. And so her just ripping shots and dancing on the dance floor, that's where she needs to be. It's that classic, line that people say, you're 22, you should have been in the club. You know, Darth Maul was only 22 in Phantom Menace. He should have been in the club. Like, what are we doing here? That's exactly what Taggie should be doing.
Okay.
Get away from Rupert. Put her there.
Yes. I don't know if forever get away from Rupert based on the way this show's going, but I like Baz. Baz seems to have a good head on his shoulders.
Yeah, Princess Elizabeth when she was about to be queen, she should have been in the club. She shouldn't have been trying to be queen. Come on, what's going on here? Now,
well, number 2 for me is Maude.
Okay.
Maude wins the play, you know. I think that she's owning what she's doing with Tony to a certain extent. I think that her emotional sort of meltdown with Declan, she has a tough time facing the reality that she is being used, but that doesn't stop her from winning the hearts of the country in this performance.
Fair. Well, I got Tony at number 2 because he makes the play to say, buck up, Maude, get it together, and I'll have a show for you, with the 4 hot men or whatever. Come on now. And he gets a show from Maude at the end, too. The only thing is, I fear for what Tony and Monica's relationship looks like going forward. Because this, I feel like, was their chance to really make it work, and it's not connecting. And I wonder what repercussions that could have for Tony.
Well, I got Tony at number 1.
Well, I got Maude at number 1.
This is Tony. Tony said at the end of last week, 1 down, 3 to go. And at the end of this week, Declan's made a fool of in front of all his people. He's literally getting Declan's wife's underwear thrown in his face, and he's inhaling. He's fired the second shot, not to mention Midsummer Night's Dream, as Declan says to Maude, if this is terrible, he wins. But it's not terrible. It's great. And Tony, I think that he's a dog, and I think that Monica putting her foot down and saying, like, no more cheating, no more doing that, I do think that's going to blow up, but I think Tony's just like Rupert. Like, you can't keep a man down.
No, that's true. I just have Maude up because of the way she effectively puts down Declan in front of everyone when she's like, no, I speak, and tells her that. Because it also kind of makes it so Tony can't even get out of the deal for her appearing on that show because she's saying this in front of everyone. And the fact that she crushes her performance and has everyone entranced, even though she's an emotional wreck in that moment. You know, she has the doubts. She's back. Maude is on top. And then she throws her underwear at him. I was just thinking when you said Declan's wife's underwear. What if she threw Declan's underwear at Tony?
We saw him in his tidy whities early in the episode.
We did.
He's looking good.
He fills him out. But Yeah, man. Just big ups to Maud. It's about time she had her moment.
Yeah, I don't like her and Declan's relationship at all.
Sure.
But it's on both of them, so I can't go saying that I don't like Maud. I don't like their relationship. I also don't like Maud. I can also say I don't really like Maud the character.
Okay, I like Maud.
But
she's an independent woman.
I don't know. Once a cheater, always a cheater, as you say.
That is true.
That's this week. More rivals next week.
We'll be back for more. Dave, you been watching anything else?
This week, not so much. We got to go celebrate my birthday on Saturday with a couple friends and family.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Not too much in the new TV realm. Kind of catching up on things that I've missed over the several years ago that are not of note.
Like what?
Dairy Girl season 3.
Okay.
Working through that. Only Murderers season 4.
I didn't even know you watched the first 3 seasons of that.
Of what? Only Murders?
Only Murders, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fine, It diminishing returns as it goes, but it's still like I love Martin Short, so it's just
fun.
him cooking. Yeah,
Okay.
He's still got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Corey? You watching anything good?
No, I really haven't had much time to watch anything.
You're cleaning up laundry messes.
Buckets of water. The only thing I've been watching are the Knicks and the Spurs finals. Let's go. I feel the energy in New York coursing through me every day. I was running in the park last week, and they had like a viewing of the games on the summer stage, and my running buddy was like, "Go Knicks," and the whole crowd was like, "Go Knicks!" Feeling it, man.
All right.
I'm feeling it. So I'm ready to watch it right now as we're recording. It's ongoing, so I'm ready to tune in.
We'll wrap right now so we can go to see the game.
Yeah. So, you know where to find us: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Hit us up at lordsgrantham@gmail.com. Leave a 5-star rating or review if you hear us on Spotify or iTunes. We also have our Patreon, where we recently watched Cinderella. You can join our Lords Grantham Lounge if you sign up for that. And, yeah, you know where to find us. And we'll catch you next week on the pod.